first I stumbled upon the laws of nature in Taoism, which exactly talks about this. And I didn't understand it for a long, long time, what it actually means, because it's so abstract, right? Especially in the West, we don't tend to think of life. We tend to think of life as to-do lists versus,
more mechanical.
The flow. It's more mechanical, more rational versus the flow. And I think I'm trying to put myself continuously in more and more situations where nature is my teacher, where it's not really... I think books are great, of course. Again, the rational. I think it helps you make sense of what you learn in nature. It helps you grasp like some ideas that are otherwise quite difficult to pin down. But yeah, I found this one great when I did the cold plunging. So we have like this river here, and in the deepest of the winter, I decided to start cold plunging, and I did it for a week every day, and then I did it for like 2 or 3 times a week. And I saw this great interview with Wim Hof where he said,
Iceman.
The Iceman, right? I don't do the Wim Hof method, by the way. I don't do it the same way, but I still like the guy. Like, he kicked off all of this for most people, and he said this amazing thing that he said, I never had a teacher in my life but nature. I never had a guru that helped me get somewhere. It was always nature, and it completely changed the way I approached the cold plunging afterwards. I always went to the river. And, I always get nervous when I look down into the water, and the water's like 40 degrees cold, 4 Celsius cold. And you're like, I'm going to drop in here. Right? This is for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever. This is terrifying. Like, you're nervous. Your whole system starts. And I just keep remembering, like, asking the water, like, I wonder what you will teach me today. Like, what I wonder what I will learn from you today. Like, what new knowledge can you bring me? And it's not knowledge of the mind. It's not rational stuff. Like, you rationalize it afterwards, the learnings. But in the moment, you try to listen. So when you go into the water, for example, and the cold rushes in and it just engulfs you, right? Your mind is going crazy and everything. You focus on the breathing. You get into a meditation, and then suddenly you start to feel the cold in a different way. The feeling of being cold transforms, and it can go to a point where you have almost like a warm blanket around your body. And if you were listening to your head, to your rational head would say, you're dying of pain in cold water. But if you just listen, if you ignore the mind and you're just listening to the actual experience, and coming back to the laws of nature, right? A law of nature is as well, to experience the world around you as it is, without the obstruction of the mind, right?
Yeah.
And it suddenly transforms something that you labeled in your mind as cold and painful and dangerous to something extremely beautiful, because
exactly,
suddenly you feel this warm blanket around your body, and you're just like, I'm in the cold water. It doesn't make sense. Like, I'm feeling,
you're going to be okay without knowing you're going to be okay.
Yeah, you feel like I'm good, but I'm not supposed. Like, if you would look at this situation on someone would write this on a piece of paper, it would look completely bad for you, but it's so good for you. So
yeah, like he's shaking, maybe screaming, but he's okay inside.
yeah. No, it's. I think the laws of nature can teach us so much about how the flow. Because if you want to go with the flow, you have to understand the laws of nature, so you can flow with the laws of nature. Right, yeah. Like, this is, and I mean, Taoism. There's great literature that I find it very hard to just read and understand. You have to read it, and then go out, experience the world, come back to it, read it again, go out, experience it again.
Yes.
Like, it will slowly make sense what those people condensed out of the laws of nature.